Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at the JingDaToys JD-20 Dream Drone, courtesy of BangGood.com. This small, compact, foldable drone bears a very strong resemblance to the DJI Spark. It has a Wi-Fi HD streaming camera. It has altitude hold and is very agile and nimble. So let's check it out. Now the drone comes in this square black box saying JD-20 here at the bottom from JingDaToys. It is for 14 plus and it lists many of its features here at the top, such as 360-degree flip, Wi-Fi streaming, etc. Here on the side you could see the drone both folded and expanded. And here on this side you could see the transmitter with a phone and another view there at the back. So overall a small, neat package. So let's open her up. Let's open here on the side and pull this plastic inset out. Just slide it right out here. There we go. Out of the box. Move this to the side here. So let's open this up. Now here we have a couple of manuals and brochures. Put that to the side. Here is the small compact transmitter. Here is the drone in a folded state, so very compact. And then here we just have several baggies here. And this package comes with an extra battery, so that's essentially it. Let's take a closer look. So we have the manual, the micro USB charger, the propeller guards, spare propellers, the battery, the transmitter, the drone itself, and an included screwdriver. So that's basically the contents of the box. Before looking at the drone, I briefly wanted to show you the included screwdriver. You would basically need that for either changing the propellers, because there's a small screw right here, or for changing the batteries on the transmitter, which it does take 3 AA batteries. So that's essentially it. No need for the screwdriver to change the battery on the quad or anything to that effect. Now, talking about the battery, it does have a 3.7 volt 800 milliamp LiPo battery, which is charged with a micro USB cable right here at the top there. That's where you would insert it. And it does take a while to charge, about an hour and a half or so. And you get close to a 10-minute flight time on a full charge, like 8 to 10 minutes. And this is how it charges. You just plug that in and you'll see a red light as it's charging, and that light will go out once it's fully charged. So now going into the actual drone itself. Very cool looking. Here at the top you could see the on button and it says drone there at the top. Very sleek looking here. It is a brushed motor quadcopter, and the battery bay is right there in the back where you slide in the proprietary battery. Here you have the HD 720p camera, which is tiltable 90 degrees, and in fact possibly even a little more. You can tilt it a little upwards, in fact, so that's really cool. Now this model has the 2 megapixel camera, but there's also a 0.3 megapixel version. Now right here is where you would put the SD card. You'd slide it down there, and it is a little tricky to get in and out, so keep that in mind. And here it has like rubber landing legs and very bright lights, so very good for orientation or night flying. And overall a very neat looking design. Good size, mid-size quadcopter with a good weight, not too heavy or not too light. So here it is right next to the actual DJI Spark. And as you can see, both the transmitters and the actual drones look very similar. It actually looks even a little bigger than the Spark if you see them here right next to each other. So, but overall, very similar looking. Same color scheme and so on and so forth. So just a little view there to look at it with the Spark. So taking a closer look at the transmitter. So in the center we have the on-off switch. Then we have the left throttle stick and right rudder stick. We have headless mode. We have the one key return. Then we have directional trims in all directions. And then here at the top we have the rates button, which we have low, medium, and high rates of speed. We have the camera and video button, short press for picture, long press for video. Then we have the flip button right here. You press that and move the rudder in any direction to flip. And then we have the emergency shut off button right here to disable the motors at any time. Now the transmitter does have these foldable antennas, and they could be for aesthetic purposes, but they are foldable. Now here in the back you can see that the transmitter takes 3 AA batteries, and the battery door is held together with just a screw, so make sure not to lose that. Here you can see there's a foldable clip at the bottom, so to allow the holding of a mobile device. It will not hold a tablet, but it will hold a good sized cell phone for viewing FPV. So setting up for a first flight, you would first turn on the quadcopter by pushing on that on-off button. You would turn on the transmitter, and then you would bind it by moving the throttle up and down. Now a good first step is to calibrate the gyros by putting the throttle and rudder to the center like so. And after it's done blinking, everything's calibrated. So let's set up the app for the first flight. Here you go into your Wi-Fi settings and look for Wi-Fi 720p, and you would connect to that. There's no default password to start out with. And then you would look for this YHFPV app. That's the app to download. And so you would enter that, and let's briefly go over the app. So this is the main screen of the YHFPV app. Here on the left you have some help screens to help show you around the app. Here's a settings screen where you can change some resolutions and settings. But the main area is where it says play here. So as you can see, we already have an FPV feed right here with the quadcopter because it's connected through Wi-Fi. And here is essentially the app. This is your picture button. This would take you back to the main menu, but this is your video button, your gallery button, so you can push that and view your stored videos and pictures. This is your rates button. This would, well, once you turn on the virtual controls, you could use this altitude hold button, and you can, change the rates. You could set the accelerometer, so if you tilt the cell phone, you could fly the plane by tilting it, which, by the way, you could fly this quadcopter with just the cell phone. The controller is optional. But here are all the classic controls. Right here you can reverse the screen and put it upside down. Here you can put it in virtual view mode for FPV goggles. And here you can put headless mode, you can calibrate the gyros, and you can fly this waypoint mode, which allows you to draw a little waypoint for the rudder and have it fly in that direction. And there's also voice command on this. You could do flips from this. So overall, a neat quadcopter, And so let's take it out for a flight.